All right, just picking up where we left off, Epiphany of Hope. I believe you had one more question. Number 7, what do you want to see in the PS5 or other future consoles? It's probably easier to say what I don't want to see. What I would like to see in the PS5, because we're probably talking another 5 years from now before that comes out, and I'm pretty certain the PS5 and probably the Xbox 2 will come out, or Xbox 100 or 5087. I mean, God knows what they're going to call it. They called the last one X360, for God's sake. Why that number? I don't know. 360, yeah, I know it's full circle. But I would say, I think higher resolution, but I think most people in 5 years' time, 4K may be the format of choice. But what I don't want to see is a move to complete streaming. I think that would absolutely isolate a lot of people from being able to play games. And what if your internet's down? It's relying. I don't want to see consoles or set-top boxes become the future of consoles. I think that having a proprietary system is in one, it's great because it's a guarantee that developers and publishers will have to make games for that hardware for a guaranteed number of years until the next gen comes out. And I don't want them to do just streaming because, for what I said before, I think that downloading is going to become an issue if there are problems on the internet. I mean, what if your internet's down? You can't play any of your games. People want to play games every day. I think that would drive me insane if I was relying purely on an online connection. And I think, remember the backlash that Microsoft got when they were going to announce Xbox One was going to go streaming only. It was all going to be no discs and all that. I mean, it wasn't just for the fact that people were so frightened that they were going to have to upgrade their broadband, or they're going to have to rely on their broadband provider to give them a decent service. But it was because, well, look, I buy a game, I might have it done in a week or a month. I want to sell it. Don't restrict me from selling what I've purchased. I could buy anything, any other product at the moment, anything. I mean, think about it. What can you buy that you can't sell on? If they start doing just downloadable games or non-disc games, then they will have to give you a key that you can sell, something that you can sell. I think reselling is a major part of the gaming world. So I guess that I've answered probably that more in what I don't want to see. I mean, I think a natural GPU upgrade, CPU upgrade. I would like to see solid state drives, hard drives instead of just physical drives, or perhaps hybrid drives. I know the PS4 allows you to replace your hard drive, and you can pretty much put in there what you want. Of course, they have to be bigger from stock, and I think solid state is the way to go. But it's I think for me, in all honesty, what I would like to see is just a general upgrade to the power and bring it up to whatever PCs will be up to by the time these consoles come out. Right, thank you. Thank you, Epiphany of Hope. There was a whole load of questions there, and I hope I've answered them to your satisfaction. Spazzy, great name. What got you into YouTube? Again, I go back to a couple of things. I suppose a couple of years ago, I sat at home. I think the question, the question below this kind of ties in. So, what got me into YouTube? Why did I choose my YouTube name? I'm going to kind of answer these two. So, Connor Lindstrom and Spazzy, I'm going to do a little double tag team on your questions here. Let's start with why I chose my YouTube name. I was playing a lot of games, and I wanted to start a website. Me and a couple of friends, me and one particular friend, Legion, as he's known online, we wanted to start writing reviews of games and telling people what we thought about them, and maybe it would help people decide whether they wanted to buy them, what we thought maybe would be interesting. And the site, it was very hard to start a website like that, and it didn't really take off. And we were sitting outside a pub having a couple of drinks, thinking, what name could we pick? And we'd go through anything to do with games. I started off with GameReviewers.com, and I bought the domain for that. And then settled on, I think I just said Men Who Stare at Games because we talked about movies. Men Who Stare at Goats came up, and Men Who Stare at Goats was a film I think is really, really cool. It's one of those films where you can just believe what you want, and So I won't spoil it for you, but it's kind of one of those really good, heartwarming kind of films and stories. So go and watch it. And so the YouTube name came directly from that film. Men Who Stare at Goats became Men Who Stare at Games, and that's pretty much it. That's why it's not Man Who Stare at Games, or Man Who Stares at Games, because it was supposed to be a website where lots of people would come and talk about games, and the word men was obviously not to exclude women at all. It was more about people. But of course, I can see why that doesn't really sort of sound logical. But believe me, it was just a play on words from the name of that film, and we thought it was cool, tried it, and it's kind of stuck. I could probably start again and come up with something better, but it's mine now, and I feel like I've become my identity, and that's so that's why the name is Men Who Stare at Games on this channel. What got me into YouTube was kind of a follow-on from the website. I started doing things about games. I thought, well, I play them. Why can't I record them? I didn't really know that there was this kind of big thing about recording games and people watching them and enjoying them and doing tips and reviews. I wasn't really into YouTube. What got me into it was my son. My son was into watching people playing online, and he said, I'm going to start a channel. And he did, and this was a couple of channels ago. He's had a few since then. And he said, Dad, why don't you do one? You love games, and some of the stuff's really good. I was like, some of it? You don't mean all of it? But okay, so I started, and I just put a couple of videos up just to laugh, and I got like a couple of people commenting saying that was cool. I really enjoyed it. Thank you. I was recording on the PS4, and I thought, well, I'm recording using the Share Factory tool, so why don't I do some videos on that? And a lot of people were like, "Oh, thanks, man. That's really cool. You've helped me. I'm going to start doing the same thing." And I just started enjoying it. I started. I don't know. I guess it's a very human thing to be producing something, putting some work into something, and somebody else enjoy it. It becomes a bit of an addiction, I guess. If you do a bit of work, somebody likes it, you want to do more, and it's as simple as that. That's what got me into YouTube, and that's probably why I carry on doing it. I really do enjoy making the videos. I enjoy speaking to you guys. I enjoy the fact that some of you, I'm privileged that some of you even enjoy watching me and listening to me drivel on while I'm playing the games. So yeah, I hope you continue to stick with me. So I hope that answers both your questions, Connor and Spazzy. David, I'd love to help, but I'm terrible at questions. But you are not, man. I've seen some of your comments. All I could come up with so far is this: is there a game you'd like to see software writers write? Wow. God, that's huge. A kind of game I would like to see software writers write. I guess one kind of game that I always thought of like a story when I was younger, which was about how the human civilization was actually created by an alien race, an alien species. I know it's one of those theories. It's obviously just a theory. It's probably not true. It's possibly true, and you can't rule anything out. But I wondered if a game could be created where the creators of the human race came back, because in this story I was thinking of the Earth is like a laboratory. It's a testing ground. It's a place where they would see what would happen. So like they tried first with the dinosaurs, and that didn't work out. So they sent meteors and natural disaster events. They created these things to wipe those guys out and give mammals a chance. And I thought, okay, after only a few 100,000 years of evolution, these guys come back because they're a long way away. They come back to see how we're getting on, and they're not exactly happy with what they find. And so perhaps the game could be about them arriving. Could be a series of games. Them arriving, we discover them. It starts out friendly. It all gets horrible when they realize how human nature is what it is. And well, that's okay. So I'm rambling on. I don't know if that's the kind of game that you meant, but that's a story that I would like to see become a game. And maybe somebody someday will hear that and get in touch. I've got some ideas for it, and that would be pretty cool. I don't want to go into too much detail. I've got a lot of things it could branch into and become, cyclical time spans, it could be quite big. So maybe there's other stories and games like that you guys know about. I'm not aware of any that are exactly like that. Perhaps some parallels from other stuff. But anyway, guys, I hope that was... sorry, David, I hope that answered your question. And it was a great question. Seriously, great question. Glyn, Facecam. I guess that's a question rather than an order. Yeah, I said I answered it a bit earlier. I'm not too sure just yet. We'll see. Louise, hi. Well, hi back to you. Thank you. You've been putting a lot of greetings on my videos lately, and it's very, very nice to see you commenting a lot. I hope you are enjoying the channel and the games that I'm putting up there. Portuguese Gamer. Oh, you've been around for a long time, man. And Nuno, I think your name is. Question, how many subscribers do you think you'll reach by the end of 2016? Wow. Well, okay, by the end of 2015, I was hoping for 5,000 because I'd reached sort of like, by the time I thought, what could I get? I mean, what could I do? How many subs could I get? It was sort of like halfway through the year, and I thought I was on course for, say, 5,000 at the time, and it picked up a little quicker towards the end of the year. And again, Fallout, I think, did a little bit of that. Each game I get, sometimes, I get a few new chunks of subscribers, and it happens in batches. And I thought I'd get 5. I ended up with 6.5 by the end of 2015. So let's be fair. I mean, I would expect it to double by the end of 2016. I would like it to double. I'd be honoured if it would double by the end of that time. So I'm going for a cool 12,000 by the end of 2016. If it carries on at the rate it has, that's what I'd expect. So I'll be happy for anything more than that, of course. But that's what I think. What inspired me to do YouTube videos? Yes, sorry, man. I know somebody else has asked that already, but thank you for the question. I hope I answered it well enough for you in the last time I spoke about it. Okay, Zach. Anything for you, man? Thanks, man. You've been very, very supportive of me, Zach. What do I think of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege? Well, I'll tell you what I think about it. I thought, because I don't actually have it, so I can't tell you what I think of the gameplay, so I am not the best person to answer that question. What I thought when I saw the gameplay, and I've seen a lot of... I haven't seen a lot, okay? I'm probably going to sound a little bit unkind here, but it looks very repetitive. And it looks like after we saw them playing at E3, everybody wanted to recreate what they were doing at E3. I wasn't sure how much fun people were going to have with the game. When you get online, I just felt like, oh, there's going to be a whole load of absolute, I'm trying not to swear, idiots who want to play the game, and if you don't do it tactically correct, they're going to have a go at you. And I think the best way you could play the game is with friends and have a laugh with it. But you are up against other people who are... I just think it's a game that's taking itself a bit too seriously. And I think it could be a bit more fun. But I guess it's down to who you are with, who you're playing with. And as I said, it looks like it's a bit repetitive, but I don't honestly know. I haven't played it. I don't know how much depth it has. But that's pretty much what I think of it. I hope that helps answer the question. But as I said, I am nowhere near the authority on the game. Okay, there is one more question here from Sinley Saint 13, who's actually got in touch with me through Twitter as well. Before I move on to WhatsApp, Cillian has been very, very kind. Look at this very kind comment. How do I become amazing at every game I play? It's just, well, I don't think I am. In fact, I'm probably more famous for being not very good at games compared to most of the people out there who are technically brilliant. Yeah, I'm not the best at the world, and I'm not the best in the world at any game, to be honest. There's way better than me. But thank you very much for thinking that, Cillian. You're a star. And did I like AC Rouge? I didn't play it, but I'd be interested to know what you thought about it. So another question he sent me through Twitter, and he also told me I'm the best at Far Cry 4. Woohoo! Thanks, man. Although I'm not. Again, cheers, man. No, I do appreciate that. Okay, so on to Dio, my friend Dio from Holland. He's sent me a couple, also the Netherlands. I don't know if saying Holland's offensive. I don't know. He's asked me a couple of questions. Will I ever do cut commentaries? He actually said, I assume you know what that is. Yeah, well, I kind of do. It just means, I guess, cutting out large sections of the game. So I just keep in the funny parts or the interesting bits. I don't know. I'm still trying to find myself in terms of YouTube. I don't quite know what space I occupy. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to do a few things here and there. I'm not really that conscious of what's doing well or not either. I guess I need a little bit of direction, which is something you point at a bit later on. So will I ever do cut commentaries? I think I've done a few before, but perhaps that you haven't seen. What games in 2016 am I looking forward to the most? I definitely covered that earlier on, so that's up there in the or back there in the video a bit earlier. What games am I going to do walkthroughs on? Wow, okay, Far Cry Primal probably. I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with doing walkthroughs, and I feel like a lot of people are enjoying them. And you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm enjoying I'm enjoying making them, and I feel like that's more my stock. That's kind of what I like to do, and where I'm going to end up doing most of my content will probably be walkthroughs. I enjoy them. I know a lot of people do them. I'm not trying to compete with anybody else. I just want the people that have joined me and enjoy me doing them to continue enjoying doing them, and it's easy for me to make them. In all honesty, I don't have huge amounts of time at the moment to make videos, so doing walkthroughs is it's not easy. It's straightforward for me. I don't have that many hours to put into it, so talking and playing and just recording it live and then uploading it to YouTube has become a lot more efficient for me in terms of the process. I mean, I'm spending 4 hours a day making YouTube videos, editing them, and of course replying to your comments. That's really important to me. And I have a full-time job. I go to work, and I'm out of my house for like 8.5-9 hours a day, and I come back and I work on this. So I'm really, really busy. So walkthroughs have become sort of the stock for me. I love doing everything else though. I just need more time. Will I ever start doing walkthroughs with Facecam? Yeah, possibly. I talked a bit about Facecam earlier, so there's a possibility there. Favorite game ever? What is my favorite game ever? The Last of Us, 100%, if you didn't hear that earlier on. What are your future plans with this channel? Really, really good question. I'm not sure. Is the best way to answer it. I don't know what I guess I'm looking for a direction. I kind of enjoy doing everything I do, and I don't know whether this channel should be just a bit of a free-for-all. I mean, I know there are channels dedicated to walkthroughs, there are channels dedicated to tips and tricks, channels dedicated to reviews. I quite like doing a bit of all of those things. I quite like just sharing my gaming experience with people. So I guess the direction isn't specific at the moment, and I'm not sure. So I would appreciate anybody watching this if they have any suggestions of what it is they would like to see the most. But I seem to get interest for everything I do so far. I mean, small or large, it doesn't really matter to me. It's just, one person enjoyed it. I'd like to do something like that again. So I'm still brand new at this, if you think about it. I mean, I've only been doing it just over a year, so I don't know is probably the honest way to answer that, which is really rubbish, but that's true. Next question. Would you love it if you could make a living out of YouTube? I think any YouTuber who says that they wouldn't love it is lying. Simply because, of course, man, we love playing games. We do this for a reason. Some of it could be for an egotistical reason. It might be some kind of confirmation that people like you and people want to watch you and give you compliments. And I don't think it's not like that for me. I mean, I like it. I like the process. I like when I do get a chance and I get time to edit a video, I enjoy the cutting, the editing. I like putting soundtracks into games. Walkthroughs, of course, I don't do so much of that lately. But would I like to make a living of doing it? Of course I would. I mean, it's silly to say that I wouldn't. I would love more time to do more of it, and I think it would give me a lot of freedom. I have responsibilities in life. I have to earn a living, so that's why I go to work. I can't earn a living doing this because I'm a very small channel, and it'd be very, very lucky for me if I was able to do this for full time. That would be amazing. I'm not expecting it though, and I'm certainly not relying on it. But it would be great if it would happen. Of course, that would be great. Okay, so what you did ask another couple of questions. can I start doing game reviews? I'd really been thinking about doing that lately, and thank you for asking. This is all these questions are from Dio Vandenberg, by the way. If you want to know his full name, would I start doing game reviews? Yeah, that's kind of what I started doing online, was game reviews. Me and a friend would start talking about what we thought about games. So yes, I think that is something else I will be doing on the channel. Something to add and throw into the mix. I've done a few for some of the indie games that came out free on PSN, so maybe I'll do some more and cover some of the AAA games as well. I think so, yes. So yeah, just to tell you what I like, dislike about the game, playing up, but I always wanted to, and this is the thing about when I was doing the website, is that I wanted to make sure I'd finished the game before I gave a review. What I hate is a review coming out based on a preview or based on a couple of days of playing. I hate that. I absolutely hate it, because a game for me is like watching a whole movie, taking in the whole experience. If you don't play the whole game, don't review it all. Don't review it at all, sorry. I don't think you really should do that. And so the thing is, if I take that approach, I'm not really going to get a look in terms of, people watching it. But I know you guys here watching it will have a look and will let me know what you think. So I guess that's enough for me. So I'm going to do it anyway. Right, so another question you had, Dio. How do you like the latest games? COD is full of advanced technology and all all that other shit. Would you like to see more present warfare games, more current? I guess you mean present date warfare games. Games like Black Ops 3. I think okay, with Call of Duty specifically, I think they fell into a bit of a trap, and it's the problem is, again, like I referred to earlier, is they're constantly developing a game every year. So they have to start working on that game a couple of years before it comes out. So they're in this continual cycle, this churn, this overlapping sort of cycle, where they get some feedback from the people playing the current game and start planning the one they're going to make in 2 or 3 years' time. That's when Advanced Warfare happened. That's why that happened. Because people liked Modern Warfare 2. Black Ops came out. It was like, okay, people gave those games really good feedback, quite rightly. And then they suddenly thought, oh, well, let's take it even further. They like that. Let's give them more to like. So I guess in a way there's a balance of two things here. You've got gamers who want to see new innovation. They want to see something new. They want to see the genre pushed on year. They want to receive brand new ideas. They want to see something they've never seen before every year. And if they don't get it, they criticize what they see that they were playing last year, but it's changed just a small amount. And from the developers and the publishers, they're like, well, they have to make money. I mean, let's be honest. They're in this business to make money. They want to sell a product. But I think there's impatience from both sides. You've got impatience from publishers who want to make money. You've got impatience from gamers who just want to see the whole thing change and erupt and surprise them. And I just think everyone needs to calm down a bit, and maybe gamers need to appreciate the art more than the differences from one game to another. If you appreciate one episode of your TV show, you watch the next one, right? You've got a TV series that you like, you watch it. You go watch the next episode next. Game of Thrones is a good example. I've been watching that for 4 years, 5 years. I don't want them to change Game of Thrones. I don't want them to suddenly make it set in the future. I want to see Game of Thrones. But I would pay for the next series, and maybe that's what we need to bring back into gaming, is just a bit more appreciation for what they've produced, and what they have produced you want to see more of. And we should thank the developers and the designers and the creators, the directors, the voice actors, the facial actors, for what they're able to achieve and why that game made us enjoy it in the first place. And you want more of it. So anyway, that's what I think. And maybe that didn't quite answer your question. I've gone off in a bit of a tangent. So there you go, guys. Well, that is pretty much all the questions I have for you. Thank you so much for everything that you've sent me and all the questions that you sent, and I've been able to answer. I hope that I did your questions justice. I hope I answered them to your satisfaction. But most of all, I want to thank you, all of you that are watching this. And if you're new, welcome. If you've been here for a while, thank you. 1 million views on the channel, and we're growing and growing, and that's really, really cool. I can't thank you all enough. So without further ado, I will bid you farewell. Have a good night. Keep sticking around the channel. There's plenty more content coming, and I love your feedback, guys. So keep giving it. Guys, thank you so much. All the best. And, well, I hope 2016 is a fantastic year for all of you. Good night.